Hey folks, Dino here again. This time we've got another quick Lightning Collection figure review. This one is Dino Thunder Red. So yeah, this one I have watched the series. This was during the Disney era. But yeah, it's mostly just a callback to Mighty Morphin, which is mostly why I got it. I mean, it even had Tommy in his like 50th outfit throughout the years. But yeah, let's take a quick look at the box. Same window style packaging that the others had. Nice picture there. Lightning Collection, Dino Thunder Red. And a picture on the back of him looking as if he's broke his arm. Not sure why they went with that pose, especially when it's a render and you can do pretty much anything with it. But hey-oh, what do I know? I'm just some guy reviewing figures in his room. So yeah, in terms of accessories, he comes with both forms of his weapon. Again, if I can get it out the sheath, there we go. So you've got the gun mode right there. Seems to be missing some paint details here. Some gold on the tips and conspicuous blade on top. That's because it does turn into a blade style mode. Don't ask me how such a small blade becomes that size. It doesn't. But yeah, decently enough painted. Gets the point across. A little bit of gold at the edges there for where the actual gun mode was, which is quite cool. He also comes with his, is it Tyranno staff? Am I remembering that right? It's been such a long time since I've watched this, to be honest. Yeah, it's sparsely painted, I'll be honest. It's a bit disappointing. But hey, at least we actually got it. And that's more than you can say for some of these figures. Pop it back on him, because I quite like the pose I've got him in. And an effect piece, which I've not actually seen before. Sort of red flames. It's meant for the sword. You poke it through these spots here. And yeah, not one of the better ones, I'll be honest, but I mean it's a free accessory. What are you going to do? He gets two pairs of hands, two grippy hands, which have the white painted on them, because these aren't your standard white gloves. I just noticed that was getting a bit stressed there when I was moving it, so that wouldn't be getting moved anymore. And you've got a pair of posy hands. One sort of martial arts style, the other one sort of two finger, almost Goku style hand. So I appreciate that. Yeah, final accessory is the Ethan head. I'm not entirely sure where they got this design from, because this is Ethan if he was like 40. That's someone going through a midlife crisis. That's not a teenager. I'm sorry, there's far too many wrinkles and stuff. I don't know what they were going for with that. At certain angles it kind of looks like him, but yeah, that's not a young face. That's a face of someone who's seen stuff. But yeah, again, older style neck peg. So for everyone's enjoyment, I will attempt to take this off on camera. Wish me luck. Oh my god. yeah, that's the sound that something makes when you're not supposed to do that. I am not sure how Hasbro's got away with this for so long. Like, the tolerances on these neck pegs are shocking. It's horrible. He says it as he tries to put the civilian head on. There we go. There's old man Ethan. Yeah. I definitely won't be using that head. Let's see if I can get it back off. Do this off camera. Yep. Civilian head came off a lot easier. Yeah. When Hasbro first came up with this idea of civilian heads, they definitely haven't thought about, like, this is going to be a much harder plastic than their standard heads. So yeah, really not a fan of it. I get that it's extra stuff for your figure, but I'm just going to be like having him in display as is. But yeah, let's take a look at the figure now, shall we? So in terms of paint apps, it's mostly good. Most of the details are there just fine. As I said, even including the white on the gloves. His morpher though is just completely red plastic. I think there's supposed to be some black and stuff through that. That's something Figuarts would have definitely painted. But then these are £20 figures, so you can't really expect that much. I mean, the amount of detail Hasbro already puts into these is actually quite surprising, I'll be honest. The only detail which they've gotten wrong is the helmet. I don't know if anybody's noticed, but on the box, the lining of the actual black piece is white, and it's white in the show. So God knows who thought it was a good idea to paint it silver. And that seems to be a recurring theme with Hasbro. They weren't before the remastered series, at least. They weren't good with consistency with their team-ups. Because I believe the blue and yellow Rangers from this trio have white. The White Ranger was missing the black outline, which I have no idea how that passed inspection. And I'm not sure about black, because at the time of this recording, black is only just releasing. So yeah, I think SPD and Zeo all suffer that same issue. Like, some of SPD doesn't have the outline, some has white, some has silver. Zeo, it's a combination of white and silver. Yeah, I don't know why they don't just look back at the figures they've done and think, let's keep it that way. Like, even if it was wrong to start with, I don't think people would mind as long as they were all the same. Like, this guy was silver, make the rest of them silver. Zeo started off white, keep it all white. I don't understand it. I really don't. Yeah, mini rant over. Apart from that, paint apps are good. The emblem on his chest is really nicely done. So yeah, in terms of articulation, you can look up that far, down that far, side to side. This one has a little bit of pivot. The arms can go up that far. Butterfly joint. Swivel is a bit tight on this one. If we're going all the way around. Bicep swivel. Double joint at the elbow. Hinge at the wrist. Diaphragm joint. Gets the usual side to side, up and down, all round. You can go back that far, forward that far. Standard ball pegs right there. You can kick back a bit less than a Zeo. Double joint at the knee, boot cut, and the Hasbro frightening to articulation. Just goes back, forward, and pretty much everything in between. So yeah, would I recommend this guy? I mean, if you know this show, then absolutely. Like, he's almost like a dead ringer for the show. Let's get him back in the pose I had him in at the start. There we go. Yeah, so definitely, guys, I would recommend. So yeah, guys, that'll do it for this review. I'll see y'all later.